Hello guys, welcome back to Chase Talks Politics. On today's video, we're going to be looking at the most recent polls that just came out this week, today actually. And we're going to be looking at one specific poll, the Rasmussen reports, which is usually biased towards the Republicans, which has Biden with a pretty big lead. So, let's look at these most recent polls. Overall, in Real Clear Politics, on these polls, Biden's lead has actually decreased, but not too much. Things are still not looking good for Trump, but Biden's lead has gone down from a 10% lead to an 8.8% lead. Biden took a little bit of a fall, as you can see here, in the month of July so far. Let's look at some of these polls. So, NPR PBS poll has Biden up by 8%. USA Today has Biden up by 12%. CNBC, Biden by 8%. Monmouth, Biden by 12%. IBD, TIPP has Biden up by 8%. The Hill, Biden up by 4%. YouGov, Biden by 9%. And the Rasmussen has Biden up by 10%. And this is actually biased. The Rasmussen reports are biased towards the Republicans, and specifically President Trump. President Trump previously said that he liked those polls. And now he is actually down by 10% in their poll to Joe Biden. But overall, this week, things did decrease a little bit for Joe Biden in his lead. He went down from a 10% lead to an 8.8% lead. But things are still looking pretty good for him. Let's look at these battleground states. In Florida, he's up by 5%. Pennsylvania, he's up by 6.5%. Wisconsin, he's up by 6.5%. North Carolina, he's up by 3.3%. Arizona, he's up by 3.5%. So overall, things are looking pretty good for Joe Biden. If you look at Minnesota, we didn't see that yet. Most of them are still the same. A big lead for Biden. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at the 538 polls. So yeah, Biden has an 8.8% lead over Trump. Hang on, let me just get this poll here. Okay. Hang on, let me get the latest 538 polls here. Okay, so 538 has Biden with a bigger lead than Real Clear Politics. They have Biden with a 9.6% lead. So yeah, let's look at Trump's national approval rating. So, on 538, his lead is still pretty much the same. So let's go ahead and look at the at this particular poll, which actually has Biden up by 10%. It's usually a president really approves of President Trump. So let's look at their polls. So they have President Trump's approval rating at 45%, which is pretty high. A lot of them do not have it that high. But yeah, their latest poll has Biden by 10%. This is a poll that usually favors President Trump. And President Trump actually really approves of. So in the month of July, Biden's lead has gone down a little bit, from 10% to 8.8%. And on Real Clear Politics only went down about 0.4%. But yeah, let's look at on a map right now what the election is looking like as of right now. So yeah, these are all our safe states for Joe Biden. I think that Arizona, we could probably give that to Biden right now. Feel pretty confident about giving that to Joe Biden. So I think that this is pretty accurate right here. Biden 323, Trump 214. Nevada is pretty safe, along with Minnesota and New Hampshire. I think Biden takes Pennsylvania. I think he'll be able to take Wisconsin and Michigan. And he's looking pretty good in North Carolina and Florida. So let's see if we can find any latest presidential polls here. So the latest Gallup poll has Trump's approval rating at 38%, which is very low. Okay, so on 270 to win, they have Biden up by 9%. This is very interesting. In this Alaska poll, Alaska is usually very safe Republican. Trump only has a 3% lead. North Carolina, Biden has a 5% lead. Maine, Biden's looking good, 9%. Biden's looking pretty good in Pennsylvania, 49% to 41%. Florida, he's up by 4%. Texas, it is tied. Arizona, Biden's up by 5%. Colorado, Biden will probably take that. He's up by 17% right now. Michigan, Biden's up by 7%. Wisconsin, Biden with the 7% lead. Georgia, I don't think it will go to Biden, but he currently has a 3% lead. Ohio, again, I don't think it will go to Biden, but he currently has a 1% lead. Minnesota's looking good for Joe Biden. He's up by 17%. New Hampshire, Biden's looking good. He's up by 7%. Mississippi is only 9% lead for Trump. New Mexico, Biden has a 14% lead. Trump is leading in Iowa by 1%. Arkansas is another very close one. Trump only has a 2% lead. Missouri, Trump is taking a bigger 8% lead. Trump's looking pretty good in Tennessee. He's up by 9%. Kansas, but Trump's only up by 12%. South Carolina, he has a 10% lead. Utah is very close. This is probably the closest it's been. It's at 3%, and it usually is safe for Trump. Virginia, Biden has a decent 12% lead. Nevada, Biden has a pretty good 4% lead. So those are the current polls. So what things are showing is Biden has pretty much the same lead as he had before. It decreased a little bit, but not too much. And he even has a lead in a Republican bias poll, which is biased towards the Republicans by about 4%. And it's a poll that Trump said that he approved of before they made this poll. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all later today.